Hey guys, Jason here for Chart Guys. Dan is taking a well-deserved day off, so I'm stepping in to do the S&P IWM QQQ dollar and gold review. Today on the daily time frame, SPY had itself a beautiful inside bar. Inside bars are really fantastic because they can give us a visual representation of contained range. We have 391.69 as our high of day, 388.10 as our low of day, and ideally we're going to open up inside this range at some point and look for a break of one of those two key directions. We will be checking out QQQ and IWM for a little bit of guidance as to what we may expect. But right now we are in equilibrium and we do have overall higher lows and lower highs. That is what gives us that tightening range. We had a little bit of chop today in the intraday on the 50-minute time frame. We got down to that low of day, dipped into 50-minute oversold, and we got another bear sucker punch after this 5-minute downtrend. We see that ramp up in volume. We see the bears capitalizing on the momentary weakness of the bulls, pushing into 50-minute oversold, but then the bulls change course and we managed to close the day relatively strong, all things considered. Inside bar closing near the open, not quite a doji, but certainly giving us an inside bar, showing us that the bulls aren't quite done yet. So what are we going to expect for tomorrow? I would like to see another hourly higher low. I would like us to open inside this range, get that higher low, and ideally break bull over 391.69. Now we got to remember we have short-term resistance not too far away, 392.46, and then we are going to be into new highs. So keeping a close eye on, in particular, on 392.28, and then again that aftermarket level as well. Should bears drop below 388.10, I'm not completely convinced that they will be able to carry that momentum quite yet. We still have a long weekly uptrend. We still have weekly higher lows with a lot of room to follow through. So bulls are completely in control at this point. And right now we are just looking for this two-day consolidation to show us its overall direction after setting that perfect daily and hourly higher low. Let's take a look at IWM. IWM on the daily time frame. This is a little bit different. We are seeing some pullback, but we are way overdue for daily consolidation on this guy. If we go here and mark out our 204.84, you can see how much room we have to establish daily higher lows. Now this by itself starts to look like a little bit of a turn. Sure, we've got some higher volume over as compared to the previous days, but we're close to our EMA 8 and 12 resistance. Now where it gets interesting is we go into the 4-hour time frame. Now we're getting some lows without much follow through, and we're getting some lower highs. So this has the makings of a potential bull flag. Now the question is, can we draw a flag in an effective way? A flag for me has a contained range to the upside, and we have 2 points for our anchor. If this is a nice flag, we should be able to clone this trend line, drop it down, and contain most of this range on the other side. And in fact, we have most of our action being contained in this range. And if we want to be particular, we can go ahead and compare these two lows for the intraday session. You know what? That works out pretty well. So overall, we had the makings for a bull flag type play. What we would want to see tomorrow is going to be an hourly higher low, just like as in SPY. Then we're going to break to higher highs and have the bulls bring the volume to execute that potential bull flag to the upside. If we are able to pull that magic off, we're going to be looking to the high of day for a confirmation, and then ultimately we'll want to get over top of 230.32, and that would be absolutely beautiful for the bulls. Now, if the bears decide that they want to negate that and continue the downside, well, we have a couple of options. Let's go back to our 4-hour, actually our hourly time frame. We're going to be watching for a rejection from that trend line and then a new lower low on the hourly time frame. We may develop a more sustained downtrend, and that may carry over into daily higher lows at some point. We would look for resistance and support. We would look for support in the area of 220.26 at this point, just grinding this beautiful little EMA 12 on the daily time frame. QQQ. Now this guy is looking more similar to SPY in that we have ourselves another inside bar. We're going to be looking to our high of yesterday at 335.46 for a potential resistance, but ultimately what we want to do is break the high of day 335 and stay above the low of day 332.12. If we go to the hourly time frame, we can see that we have that tightening range just like on SPY. In this case, the bulls are looking a little bit better, holding hourly higher lows as opposed to SPY, who lost this 389.15 level. So QQQ is holding up a little bit better. When I combine all of these three things together, it does look more bullish than not, in my personal opinion. We have SPY with an inside bar. We have IWM, who is shaping up beautifully for a potential bull flag. And we have QQQ, who is setting more aggressive higher lows than lower highs, which shows me that the bulls have a little bit more pressure. And the bears just aren't able to push down as hard as they would like to give us a more balanced view like SPY does. So we're going to be hoping for a bull break over 335 for the daily bulls on QQQ tomorrow. And on the old SPY, we want to break our high. Let's go validate that is the correct level. If it is, 391.69. Now let's go take a look at the dollar really quickly here. We have a very, very long-term wedge. We have broken bullish on the daily time frame. We have sustained a daily trend change. Now we are trying to establish daily and weekly higher lows. So let's clear our chart to get a better idea of what we're looking at here. On the weekly time frame, there is our contained action from the low of that wedge. We want to maintain over 90.048 to establish a weekly higher low. We're in a nice position for us to try and do that. And what do you know? The DXY bulls gave us an inside bar as well. So we'll keep a close eye on those ranges. 90.474 for our high, and our low, 90.262. We'd also keep a close eye on the near neighbor as a support, 90.251. If we go to the hourly time frame, we could see that contained range, clear resistance, clear support, trading almost sideways given the range between those lows and highs. So we're going to be looking for the bulls to establish themselves on the hourly time frame. Best case scenario would be a low, lower low, higher low in the hourly, break above that inside bar high, and then try to establish this as a weekly higher low for daily continuation. XAU on the weekly time frame. Overall, we are seeing lower lows and lower highs. So we are in the place now. We'll be looking for the bears to push the pressure down under 1764.570. Weekly time frame is currently in an inside bar. On the daily time frame, we are in that perfect area for us to be looking for that lower high on the daily, because just like the weekly, the daily is also seeing overall lower lows and lower highs. This is a nice place to get that lower high under 1875.736. So we'll be looking for short-term momentum to test a new low. And if we want to save this trend, the bulls need to defend 1785.020. What we can do is go to the 4-hour and the hourly time frame to look for the most likely scenarios. Right now, we have lost our 4-hour uptrend, so we're going to be looking for a 4-hour lower high. And on the hourly time frame, we seem to be getting into hourly oversold. The strength of this bounce is really going to dictate what comes next. I would look for some slowdown under EMA 12 and the development of an hourly downtrend to continue and carry this 4-hour trend much further and closer to our ultimate daily goal, which is going to be a 1785 test. That is it for me today. Hopefully this is helpful for you. Dan will be back on Monday to take a look at the tickers, and we will check in with you then. Maybe I'll do a video tomorrow.